Good morning and welcome to Live Oak. Please rise in body or spirit for our gathering hymn, number 114, Forward Through the Ages.
Good morning and welcome, beloved community. Good morning and welcome, beloved community. I am Live Oak member Michael Schultz. In this sacred space, we gather as one, celebrating the tapestry of our diversity, honoring the boundless love that unites us all. Live Oak Unitarian Universalist Church is unambiguously, unapologetically progressive. And our doors swing wide to embrace all those who seek a welcoming place where we celebrate the LGBTQIA+ community, where we know every identity is a divine expression of humanity, where we commit to the work of dismantling systemic racism and other oppressions, strive for a world where equality or equity, compassion, and justice are the cornerstones of our shared existence. May our worship today be a source of inspiration, a wellspring of courage, and a call to action. Welcome, my friends, to this place of love, acceptance, and progress.
My name is Mike Enyart, and I want to give a special welcome to any visitors here today, in person or online. If you haven't already, I encourage you to stop by our visitors table in the narthex out here after the service to sign up for our weekly email newsletter, and so we can meet you and answer any questions you may have. Unitarian Universalism is a non-creedal faith. There are no doctrines you have to agree with in order to belong. Instead, we are held together by covenant, our promises to each other in this church and within our religious tradition. Please join me in these words from our historic faith. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant.
To dwell together in peace, to seek the truth and love, and to help one another.
We unite with UU churches around the world by lighting our flaming chalice. the symbol of our religion. Today we have Lucian. He'll be lighting our chalice. So here at home, we light it today with these words written by Leah Ongeri. Here we are, together, each facing our different human tasks, or maybe the same central one, to embrace the lessons life delivers, to discern and respond as we grow, to refuse harm and cherish flourishing. May we know ourselves as vessels of infinite possibility, holders of each other's heartaches and tales of joy alike, weavers of one story in which we each have a part.
So the song is called Love Me, and I don't know how many of you know, but I write my own music and I perform it under aria. And it's a pleasure to be able to sing an original song for you. This is about convincing myself that I have to lower my expectations in order to be loved.
This is a reading called We Are the Music. Life can be really hard. Life can be really wonderful. In this world, it is not a foregone conclusion that things will turn out well. And so, we need to work and listen and make sacrifices to continue moving forward along life's path. However, if we seek and listen for the quiet messages and guidance available to us, we will hear our special music and find the splendor we seek. For the times when we need spiritual accompaniment, we sing together, voices blend to create a harmony, each voice enriched by its connection to the next. We are the music. Thus ends the reading.
For the past 31 years, Live Oak has been a beacon of acceptance, love, and inclusivity in our area, where our values often challenge the status quo. In a world where divisiveness and intolerance seem to grow stronger, we firmly believe in the transformative power of our faith and the positive impact we are having in our area. We invite you to make a financial contribution to help sustain this church's vital work, knowing that every gift, large and small, is appreciated and carefully used in service to our mission. At Live Oak, we know that our parish extends beyond our walls, and we serve a larger community than our own. We are able to put our UU values into action, such as we did earlier this month when Live Oak sponsored the Monument Rally, seeking the move of the Confederate statue from in front of the Williamson County Courthouse to the International Order of Odd Fellows Cemetery in Georgetown, where there are Confederate soldiers buried. Your financial support allows us to continue serving our neighbors and friends. Let this time of offering be a reflection of our shared commitment to making a positive impact on the world and a reminder that our Unitarian Universalist values guide us not only in our beliefs, but in our actions. Thank you for your presence and your contributions to our ongoing mission of building the beloved community here and in our wider parish.
Good morning. It is so good to be here with you again. I have been out for a couple of weeks because Texas allergies are real, y'all. It has taken me down. But luckily, I had a compass. I had one of these compasses, and I was able to find my way back. Right? And I want to be able to talk to you about the journey and how we use a compass to go on a journey. And I want to talk about this very specific kind of journey, the hero's journey. So I'm going to set this right up here. So the idea of a hero's journey is Well, Mike's going to speak about the hero's journey today, so I wanted to expand on it for you. Pretty much every awesome story you have ever heard, your favorite books, your favorite movies, all have elements of the hero's journey. Basically, there's a character. Today, it's maybe somebody from, I don't know, the Hobbit series, who's just living their ordinary life, you know, la, 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 doing their thing. And then suddenly an opportunity for adventure comes knocking. And the hero doesn't really want to go adventuring. They're just too comfortable with how things are. You ever done that in your living room? You're just really comfortable, right? You don't really want to go out and do that social justice work because this feels really good. So then usually the mentor will appear, maybe a Gandalf in your life. And they will, sometimes they're older, sometimes they're wiser, and they will ask you to help out. And next comes the threshold, when the hero departs their normal, safe home and enters a safe world, a special world, and an adventure. And there the hero finds themselves challenged by an ordeal that they must go through, not bypass, but go through. And then after that adventure, the hero returns to their ordinary world, except nothing is ever the same. The adventure changes them. It changes them in their hero's journey. And they've outgrown their old life. In gaming lingo, this is known as, I don't know, leveling up. And nothing is quite the same once you've leveled up. So, to give you an example, Bilbo Baggins embarks on a timeless hero's journey, initially content in his peaceful hobbit life residing in the Shire. Bilbo's world takes an unexpected turn when Gandalf, the mentor, and a group of dwarves disrupt the tranquil existence of his life. Bilbo is hesitant to leave the safety of the hobbit hole and to embark on a perilous quest to reclaim the lonely mountains. And he sets forth with the dwarves. He faces challenges that test his courage and his resourcefulness. In the encounter, he encounters trolls, the escape from goblin tunnels, and the discovery of Gollum's cave. These all become his trials, shaping him into a more resilient and capable adventurer. And when Bilbo returns to the Shire, he is a changed hobbit. He will never be the same again. His newfound courage and wisdom lead him to become an integral part of the community, and his legacy endures as a legendary figure among hobbits and in the Shire. So, Bilbo's journey echoes the timeless hero's path, transforming him from a reluctant adventurer into a hero who leaves an indelible mark on Middle-earth. So, what do you have in common with some of your favorite heroes? Think about, in your mind, think about some of your favorite heroes, fictional or non-fictional. What do you have in common with them? Well, you're a person just like them. The hero's journey exists because we humans think about our world through our own stories. You leave your comfort zone, have an experience that transforms you, and then you recover and you do it again. You could go through several heroes' journeys a day. Think about that. You don't literally face down dragons or serve as a ring bearer, but you face problems just as scary, like trying out for a sports team, going to a new school, auditioning for a role in a play, standing up to bullies, speaking out against racism. I think the important part of the hero's journey is to listen to your call to adventure and be willing to accept it, to go on the challenge, to conquer your fear, gain the lesson, and then level up and go on more adventures. All the folks that just did Owning Your Religious Past, you went on a hero's journey and you will never be the same again. How do you use the hero's journey to engage in your faith and in your faith development, in social justice work? How do you go out and do it again and again and again, and how will it change you? I wonder, will you accept the call to your adventure? Will you accept the call to your hero's journey? And what will you do when you come back? And with this, our story is told. Thank you.
Please rise as you are willing and able for hymn number 187. It sounds along the ages.
Be that way. Okay. Reverend Joanna said, have fun. I said, cosplay will be involved. Is my mic on? Is it? Now it's on. Okay. I'm ready. Oops, that's right. I did say this was going to be my job. Okay. There was Eru, the one, who in Arda is called Iluvatar. And he made first the Ainur, the holy ones, that were the offspring of his thought. And they were with him before aught else was made. And he spoke to them, propounding to them themes of music. And they sang before him, and he was glad. But for a while, they sang only each alone, or but few together, while the rest hearkened, for each comprehended only the part of the mind of Iluvatar from which he came. And in the understanding of their brethren, they grew but slowly. Yet ever as they listened, they came to deeper understanding and increased in unison and harmony. I'm just going to have to hold it. I was first introduced to the works of J.R.R. Tolkien in college in the mid-1970s. It is hard to explain why someone who loves science fiction would take to a book about wizards and dragons. But I remember reading The Hobbit when I was in college, and I think that I read The Lord of the Rings after graduation when I had more time. I believe the last time I read these books was in 2010, and last Christmas I watched all 6 of Peter Jackson's Tolkien movies. And I wasn't watching the wimpy theatrical release. No, I was watching the extended editions. So you can tell I'm serious about Tolkien. However, one thing that I've never read is Tolkien's prequel to these books, The Silmarillion. This book is a tough read, even for seasoned Tolkien readers. Tolkien made 2 attempts to write it and abandoned both. It was finally published after his death in 1977. So when I decided to read this book, I was prepared for the long haul. However, when I read the prologue, Ainulindale, in English, the music of the Ainur, I came to a stop. This did not seem like an abandoned story. It's not just a prequel to the previous books. It was a complete and self-contained creation story. I wondered what other people were saying about it, so I searched for it online and discovered a Wikipedia article that indicated that the first known copy of this story was in Tolkien's writings from 1918, long before the other books were written, long before the Silmarillion was started. 1918 was the end of World War I, and I knew that Tolkien had served during that war. So I decided to indulge my curiosity a little and look deeper into the story, and I wondered if there was more than a coincidence between this story and the Great War. I think it's important to understand that Tolkien was not your standard high fantasy author with wizards and their robotic horses. In the 1920s, he undertook his own translation of Beowulf, which he finished in 1926. 10 years later, he gave a highly acclaimed lecture on the work, Beowulf, The Monsters and Critics. He became a professor at the University of Oxford in 1925. He was a professor of Anglo-Saxon until 1945, when he became a professor of English language and literature until his retirement in 1959. However, what Tolkien is known for in popular culture is the book The Hobbit, published in 1937, and the trilogy The Lord of the Rings, published in 1954 through 1955. In a letter to his publisher in 1951, he wrote, "From early days, I grieved that the poverty of my I was grieved by the poverty of my country. Come on. It had no stories of its own, bound up with its tongue and soil, not of the quality that I sought and found as an ingredient in legends of other lands. Of course, there was and is all the Arthurian world, but as powerful as it is imperfectly naturalized, associated with the soil of Britain, but not with English. And it does not replace what I felt to be missing. For one thing, its fairy is too lavish and fantastical, incoherent and repetitive. For another and more important thing, it is involved in and explicitly contains the Christian religion. Once upon a time, I had in mind to make a body of more or less connected legend, ranging from the large and cosmogonic to the level of romantic fairy story, the larger founded on the lesser in contact with the earth, the lesser drawing splendor from the vast backcloths, which I could dedicate to England, to my country. The Hobbit was a story which Tolkien wrote for his children. However, he was convinced to publish it by Susan Dagnall, an employee of London publishing firm George Allen and Unwin. The book was successful enough for the publishers to ask for a sequel, which eventually became The Lord of the Rings. Tolkien endeavored to write the Silmarillion, a prequel to these books, but he was never happy with the story, and the book was not published during his life. It fell to his son, Christopher, to attempt to complete the book for publication, which it finally was in 1977. Tolkien's process was to take an idea and write a short tale about it, write a short tale that he explored. He called the collection of all these tales his legendarium. I think the main reason that The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings were successful was that they both were heroes' journeys that visited different locations within his tales and wove these stories into it. In the Silmarillion, he tried to do something different, and he was not able to bring all of his ideas together. But I digress. I think that the Ainulindale was one of these tales, and given the date, perhaps the first. Iluvatar is the central god of the myth, and he creates the Ainur, think angels, from his thought, and he teaches them to sing. And it came to pass that Iluvatar called together all the Ainur and declared to them a mighty theme, unfolding to them things greater and more wonderful than he had yet revealed. And the glory of its beginning and the splendor of its end amazed the Ainur, so that they bowed before Iluvatar and were silent. Then Iluvatar said to them, of the theme that I have declared to you, I will now that ye make in harmony together a great music. And since I have kindled you with the flame imperishable, ye shall show forth your powers in adorning this theme, each with his own thoughts and devices, if he will. But I will sit and hearken, and be glad that through you great beauty has been awakened into song. So clearly, there are similarities to the Judeo-Christian creation story in Genesis. But instead of let there be light, there is let there be music. And then the voices of the Ainur began to fashion the theme of Iluvatar to a great music. And sound rose of endless interchanging melodies woven in harmony that passed beyond hearing and into the depths and into the heights and into the places of the dwelling of Iluvatar, and the places of the dwelling of Iluvatar were filled to overflowing. And the music and the echo of the music went out into the void, and it was not void. Here we see the music creates existence from the void. But next, Tolkien introduces conflict into the story. But now Iluvatar sat and hearkened, and for a great while it seemed good to him, for in the music there were no flaws. But as the theme progressed, it came to the heart of Melkor to interweave matters of his own imagining that were not in accord with the theme of Iluvatar. For he sought therein to increase the power and glory of the part assigned to himself. To Melkor among the Ainur had been given the greatest gifts of power and knowledge, and he had a share of all the gifts of his brethren. At this point in the story, so clearly Melkor is similar to Lucifer. He is from Iluvatar's thoughts and is yet independent. Melkor starts weaving his own thoughts into the music. And straightway discord rose about him. And many that sang nigh him grew despondent, and their thought was disturbed, and their music faltered. But some began to attune their music to his rather than to the thought which they had at first. Then the discord of Melkor spread ever wider, and the melodies which had been heard before floundered in a sea of turbulent sound. But Iluvatar sat and hearkened until it seemed that about his throne there was a raging storm of dark waters that waged war upon another in an endless wrath that would not be assuaged. In the midst of this strife, whereas the halls of Iluvatar shook and a tremor rang out into the silence yet unmoved, Iluvatar rose, and then he raised both hands, and in one chord, deeper than the abyss, higher than the firmament, piercing as the light of the eye of Iluvatar, the music ceased. At this point in the story, Iluvatar took the Ainur into the void and said to them, "Behold your music." And he showed them a vision, and they saw a new world made visible before them, and it was globed amid the void, and it was sustained therein, but not of it. This is your milstry. And each of you shall find contained therein, amid the design that I set before you, all the things it may seem that he himself devised or added. And though Melkor, wilt thou discover the secret thoughts of your mind, and wilt perceive that they were but a part of the whole and tributary of its glory. What he showed them was a vision of the world that they could create through their music. Melkor saw this world and immediately desired to rule it. But the other Ainur looked upon this habitation set within the vast spaces of the world, and their hearts rejoiced in light, and their eyes, beholding many colors, were filled with gladness. And then Iluvatar takes the vision away, and there was a great unrest among the Ainur. But Iluvatar called to them and said, "I know the desire of your hearts, that what ye have seen should verily be, not only in your thought, but even as ye yourselves are, and yet other. Therefore I say, let these things be. I will send forth into the void the flame imperishable, and it shall be at the heart of the world, and the world shall be. And those of you that may, and those of you that will, may go down into it." And thus it came to pass of the Ainur, and sorry, I'm getting dry. And thus it came to pass that of the Ainur, some abode still with Iluvatar beyond the confines of the world. But others, and among them many of the greatest and most fair, took leave of Iluvatar and descended into it. And they are named the Valar, the powers of the world. While this story has a lot of similarities to the Judeo-Christian myth, creation myth, the Valar who entered the world and created it have a lot of similarities to the Greek, Roman, and Norse gods. In Tolkien's Legendarium, there's a whole host of gods, and each one with a specific role in the creation of the world. I wonder if this story was a response to Tolkien's experiences in World War I. He was a Catholic, and it must have been difficult to him to wonder how God could allow war to happen. So, such a creation myth would allow him to think past the easy answer of God has a plan. I believe that the Ainulindale, the music of the Ainur, is the plan. But it is clear that Iluvatar just creates the themes, and he endows the Ainur, even Melkor, with free will. Even when Melkor seeks to disrupt Iluvatar's themes, he is not punished. He is simply admonished that his behavior is still part of the plan. But to me, the most interesting part of the music of the Ainur is this. And he declared to them a mighty theme, and the glory of its beginning and the splendor of its end amazed the Ainur. All right. Oh, there it is. Tolkien seems to be saying that it is not a foregone conclusion that things will turn out well. That we need to work and make sacrifices to carry out Iluvatar's themes. But if we will only listen to the music of the Ainur, we will find the splendor of its end. I invite you to join me in a time of reflection, in word and in silence. This is Winter Solstice Meditation by Christine Robinson. We join our hearts and minds together in a time of meditation or prayer, spoken, silent, sung, or shared. It is a precious time, and all precious times want preparation. So I invite you to settle yourself in a straight posture, both feet grounded to the floor, to take a deep breath and hold it until you notice that you need to breathe out and relax. I invite you to close your eyes, for vision is the single most energy-intensive activity of our brains. In about a month will be the days of the winter solstice, a time when those who are very attentive to the skies above note that the sun, which has relentlessly moved southward on the horizon since last June, seems to pause on its journey before beginning to climb northward to center again. Solstice is a time of pause. So pause, breathe, relax, rest, be at peace. Spirit of winter rest, help us to enjoy your peace in this quiet place. Remind us to pause during this season. Grant us awareness. Keep our gratitude fresh each day. May the songs in our heart be blessings and insights to us and to others. And may compassion always shine forth from the depths of our hearts. Let us hold that for a moment together in sacred stillness. I invite you to sing with me. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. I cannot decide which glasses I want to wear. This community is a chosen village where our lives are interconnected. Part of the tapestry of this communal journey is sharing the significant milestones, joys, and sorrows in our lives, and witnessing the diversity that we hold. One of us may be celebrating a life event, while another is mourning with grief. And there is a beauty in that mosaic, as we are reminded that the moments of life are transient and ever-changing. Okay, we have three joys. Rosella Altman says, my husband and I hosted our first Thanksgiving in our new home. Jennifer Swan writes, thanks to my beloved Live Oak UU community for all the love and support following my sister's unexpected and untimely death. I'm sorry, Jennifer, I did not read that all the way through. And finally, Adele says, I came out as asexual. May this community draw together with our shared experiences as we celebrate life's triumphs and navigate on the trials together. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be whole. The wheel of the year is now turning toward the end of the year, completing a revolution before starting a new one. It is a time of celebration for many. For others, it is a time of grief. And for still others, it is a time of annoyance with all the merrymaking. No matter how you feel about this time to take care of yourself and take a moment to consider the past year and your hopes for the next. Happy holidays, my friends, and may the blessings of elves, men, and all free folk go with you.
Oh, that was lovely. I would like to invite you after the service today. We actually are going light today on RE. We're going to invite you to engage in the table discussions that are on the tables outside, in the fellowship on the tables. That didn't make sense, but there you go. Mike will be out there, and we're going to get into the discussion of creation myth and what do you believe, and what do you think about the Big Bang Theory and creation as a creation myth? So I invite you to deepen your relationships with each other in conversation and with discussion during our Faith Development Hour. The kids are in the nursery, and we're going to just have free play today, which will be fun. So parents, if you'll sign them in at the nursery, and the nursery will close at 12:15 today. So also, I just want to remind you that tonight at 5:30 here, we are making graham cracker houses. And these are for the selfies with Santa. And as the kids are waiting to see Santa, they're given a house to decorate. And Mary and Doug are hosting this afternoon or at 5:30 for you to come back, help make the houses. They're going to make homemade pizza, and so they'll need to know how many people are coming. So if you're coming back at 5:30 to help make the houses, please let Mary know. She's right there. And I want to remind you that this Thursday at 6 o'clock in this space, we are watching Spirited. So come watch a movie and be in community with each other. Thank you.
With the help of Lucian, thank you, Lucian. Please join me in extinguishing our chalice with these words by Unitarian Universalist Wayne Arneson. Take courage, friends. The way is often hard, the path is never clear, and the stakes are very high. Take courage, for deep down there is another truth. You are not alone. Thanks, guys. Let us leave this service with renewal in our spirit and a song in our heart. So if you will, please rise for our final hymn, number 350, The Ceaseless Flow of Endless Time. It has been a gift to be together today. Please spend the next 5 minutes talking with someone you don't know. Show them where the visitors table is and the coffee area, which is out here. And may we all know the blessings of friendship.